Everyone, thanks for staying up late with us after the game. Well, first up, Mobile County Health Department leaders going into the weekend with positive news as COVID-19 numbers see a downward trend, reporting less than 100 new cases nearly every day this past week. Yesterday's numbers showing the first triple-digit increase since last Sunday. Fox 10's Morella Porter joining us live with more. Morella.
Yeah, Michael, the numbers are encouraging, but county health leaders remind us that the measures we've taken, like wearing masks and social distancing, are what have gotten us to this point.
The best form of treatment is prevention.
Declining COVID-19 cases, a good sign across Mobile County. But health experts warn us not to let our guard down.
We are still very much in the throes of a COVID-19 pandemic, and we need your continued support of the implementation of public health measures to try to slow the spread so that we protect our most vulnerable populations and not overwhelm our healthcare system.
Dr. Randy Murphy with the Mobile County Health Department says hospitals across the area are seeing some relief with the number of COVID-19 patients admitted.
But they are still seeing people who are severely ill, needing intensive care and ventilation and those things. So we do expect that we will continue to see extended hospitalizations and perhaps deaths.
Health leaders continue stressing changes to quarantine guidelines for anyone exposed to the disease. Dr. Murphy says if you are within 6 feet of someone who has tested positive or has symptoms for at least 15 minutes, you must quarantine at home for 14 days. If you develop symptoms while you're in quarantine, you must then stay home at least 10 days or until you no longer show symptoms for 24 hours. She says you cannot test out of quarantine and you should not get tested unless you have symptoms. Dr. Murphy says as long as this is followed, a negative test is not needed to return to work or school.
And the health department has already seen an increase in the number of COVID-19 cases with children. They say this was expected since some schools in Mobile County have reopened, and they do expect that trend to continue. Live in Mobile, Morella Porter, Fox 10 News.
All right, Morella, thank you. Some surprising numbers after 10 days of statewide COVID-19 testing for college students who've returned to school. A couple of weeks ago, students at South Alabama went to the Mitchell Center to take the tests administered by GuideSafe entry testing. In Mobile, GuideSafe is also testing returning students at Spring Hill College. Well, company officials haven't released those numbers yet, but they have released positive test percentages from schools in the University of Alabama system. They say of 30,000 students tested, the percentage positive was 0.83%. So were officials surprised by that low number?
The numbers still can vary, and I wouldn't hang your hat right at this moment on any particular number because every time we access a new population, it could change. So I'll say personally, I'm pleased that numbers have been relatively low so far.
The tests are required for students returning to colleges that use GuideSafe. 1 week ago, most of college football was in a happy place. Schedules were out and the season was on. But what a week it's been. 2 Power 5 conferences postponing their seasons. The SEC moving forward with its. President Trump doubling down on his position today, saying he wants football back. And on the campus of South Alabama, it is back for now. Closing out another week of preseason camp with a scrimmage inside brand new Hancock Whitney Stadium. The South Alabama Jags now less than 3 weeks away from playing their first game of what will be a very unusual season. Around the country, though, college football remains in limbo, with COVID spread the main concern. President Trump weighing in again today.
I want college football to come back. These are strong, healthy, incredible people. These are people that want to play football very badly. A great talent quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, called me on 2 days ago. I spoke to him a couple of times. He said, "Sir, I want to just tell you we want it back. We want to play." And
right now, the SEC and ACC are moving forward, as is the South Alabama occupied Sun Belt Conference. We've talked to college football fans a lot this month. We know that's what they want.
Everybody wants to look college football, so man, we need that.
I'm happy to hear that there is a plan in place to get back to some normalcy. Anything for football, I guess is what I'm saying.
Still, anything could happen, but for now, the majority of conferences are trying to make it happen.
the SEC, the Big 12, and the ACC are back. They want to come back, and I think they're coming back. The Big 10, the Pac-12 are not, and I wish they would.
As it stands, South Alabama starts its season September 3rd at Southern Miss and will play its first game in its new on-campus stadium September 12th. The SEC, including Alabama and Auburn, open their season September 26th. Well, COVID-19 has changed many aspects of life, including not just college football, but high school football. Most games are scheduled to kick off this upcoming week. Baldwin County Public Schools will be limiting fan attendance to 50%. Tickets must be purchased ahead of time online, and masks will be mandatory.
It's not just a one-game deal. We want the whole season. So if we want that, we got to provide the environment at the stadiums, in the gyms, where we can have the least amount of possible COVID issues.
They'll also be focusing on disinfecting surfaces, the goal to limit touch points as much as possible. Football fans we've talked to are excited for the season to start up again, even if it means making some changes to what's been considered normal. Football is football, they say, even if you're wearing a mask in the stands. Also next week, LaFleur and Williamson kick off the football season for Mobile County Public Schools. School leaders say fans will have to get used to some changes. They say for now, priority seating will go to families of players, cheerleaders, band members, and other groups. Family members would get 5 seats with 6 feet of social distancing between groups of other fans. Count on Fox 10 News to stay on top of the coronavirus pandemic. We'll have the latest breaking developments on air, online, and on our app.